Good morning, everybody. Today is Sunday, by the way. We're going to talk about, I'm kind of sitting here relaxing. We're going to talk about let the dead bury the dead. And this might be a topic you're very similar with, but we need to hear it, okay? And a lot of this stuff, when we talk about, no matter what we're talking about, if we're talking about overall success, we're talking about Neville Goddard, we're talking about law of assumption, law of attraction, the laws of the universe, the laws of manifesting. We're making this stuff way too hard. We're getting caught up in all these little terminology things where sometimes I'll get a comment. It's like, well, no, Chad, you're talking about law of assumption. You're not talking about manifesting. You're not talking about law of attraction. Law of attraction is this, but law of assumption is this. But it all connects. But I want to talk to you a little bit about, and this is a struggle I have too. This is why I'm doing this video, because I need to hear this too. It's a lot of things where manifesting isn't working is because it's really what we're doing in our 3D world. Okay, we have the same old bad habits that keep us stuck. It's like the law of karma. We have bad habits that we're doing over and over and over and over and over again, and these bad habits can last years, and we're doing the same thing, the same thoughts, the same routine every single day. We don't alter it. We expect different results, okay, when we do it, but we're getting the same results because our same old thinking patterns, our same old habits we have, our same old thoughts, okay, our same old, reacting to things that constantly happen in our 3D world is the same. That's what's really kind of holding us back to having any Neville Goddard technique even work. Okay, and when we talk about let the dead bury the dead, most of it lies in this. And it's morning time, right? I got my coffee here, so I'll take a sip of my coffee a couple times. I'm not going to edit this video, so this is going to be a raw video. But anyway, most of us might say, and I could almost sometimes argue the same thing. Well, I don't live in the past. I don't dwell in the past, And that's really what let the dead bury the dead. Anything in the past, totally forget about it. That's what it means. You can't move forward. You can't progress forward if you're constantly focused on the past. You're constantly focused on what you don't like. You constantly focus what somebody did to you. You're constantly focused on this happened to me. It was out of my control. Or you constantly focus on, why don't I ever get a break? You know what I mean? You're focused on the past. And that's what's holding you back. And I know you've heard this analogy before, that if you're driving a car and if I'm constantly looking in the rear view mirror, I'm just focused on that rear view mirror, well, I can't drive forward. I'm going to crash the car, or I'm going to drive off the road into a ditch. That's what's going to happen. And that's what's really what we're doing in our own life. Okay, we're driving off the road on La La Land somewhere, and we're crashing the car every time we're focused on the past. And isn't it amazing, and I've noticed this even with myself, that anytime I focus on, just for a few minutes, something I don't like, something that happened, it's so easy to jump to something else. It's so easy to dwell in that state. It's so easy to, as the day goes on, my mind constantly comes back to it, or it goes to similar things around it. Okay, you have to be super aware of myself doing it, you're doing it, and that's what's holding you back. Because when we focus on the past, we're focused on the negative, something we don't like. We bring natural emotion to it. We bring a natural emotion to it. Okay, we naturally, even if we struggle with Neville Goddard, we struggle with Neville Goddard techniques, even if we think we struggle with imagination. But really, in reality, you don't struggle with imagination, because if you think about something you don't like, you naturally go in your imagination and you play that whole scene in your mind, and it's so real to you, you get in that emotional state like it just happened to you. How many times have we done that? I've done it many, many, many times throughout my life. Okay? Your imagination is keen. Your imagination is good. The only thing you're rusty with your imagination, you're rusty with because you have to think about goods. You have to think about what you want, and you're not used to doing it. You're so used to thinking backwards, thinking about what I don't want, what I don't like, then you just naturally go off in your imagination. That's what we're doing. Even if you think like, oh, I hate my boss at work, we're constantly going into the past. You're not going forward. You're not progressing forward, but you constantly think about, I hate this person at work. I don't like this person at work. They always just bug me the wrong way, always move me the wrong way. You're going back in the past. You're thinking in the past. You have a habit of going back in the past. And some of us, have a habit of going way back in the past. I mean, sometimes I've talked to my mom about this. Sometimes, we'll have a conversation. She'll bring up something that happened 20 years ago. And she's telling the story and she has the same emotion like it happened today, like it just occurred today. The same emotions there. Like my mom's a great storyteller. Okay, she's a great at telling stories because she puts so much emotion to it. But she does the same thing if she's telling a story if something negative happened to her too. And if you're not aware or if you don't know, you're listening to one of her stories about something happened and you're thinking to yourself, did that just happen today? Did that just happen to you today? And she's like, oh, no, it didn't happen today. And I was like, when did it happen? And she'll be like, oh, it happened like 20 years ago or 25 years ago when you were like 13. So I was like, dude, stop doing that. Stop thinking about that. Let the dead bury the dead. Okay. And this is easier said than done. This is why even if you're practicing Neville Goddard, you're practicing living the end, dwelling the end. Only focus on the good. Okay. Anything happening in your life, for one, it's just our awareness. Okay. And two, it's our perception of it. It's just your perception. When something happens, it's just your perception of it. There's always good in something happening. Okay? That's really the basic laws of the universe. If you focus on good, good has to come to you by law. But the reverse is also true because there's two sides to every law of the universe. If there's a good side, there's a bad side. So if you focus on bad, you focus on negative, you focus on things you don't like, well, guess what? That has to come to you as well. So focus on the good. When you get up, and you don't do this stuff overnight. Okay, some of you out there, okay, I'm picking on you a little bit. Some of you out there, you do a Neville Goddard technique for 3 days, and you're all like worried. You get up in your 3D world, you're looking for it. It hasn't happened yet. Okay, how can I speed up my manifesting powers? How can I do this, Chad? But what you have to understand is you have to be persistent and consistent with it. Your mind is a muscle, okay? And right now you suck at it. I mean, I'm just being honest, okay? And let's say, for example, let's use fitness. Let's use physical fitness here for a second because this is a great analogy. Okay, if you're out of shape right now, or if I'm out of shape right now, okay, and I want to get back in great shape. I want to get back in great shape like I used to be, okay? And am I going to go to the weight room, the fitness center, and get back in shape in 1 week if I haven't worked out my entire life or I haven't worked out for 10 years? I think we all would agree that, well, Chad, or if you had a friend that was telling you this, and you had a friend complaining, well, I've been going to the gym for 1 week. I went every day this week, and I looked in the mirror and I still look the same. This doesn't work. I think even if you had no experience with fitness, no experience on what you're doing, you're going to say, what do you expect? You only been doing it for a week. It's going to take a while. Then once you gain some experience, this is what I know about physical fitness, is that it takes about 3 or 4 months to start seeing results. It takes about 3 or 4 months to start seeing physical results. Okay, you might start feeling better. You might start in the beginning, you start feeling a little bit stronger. You might start feeling like you can make it through a workout without feeling like you're going to throw up. You know what I mean? I've been there. But you have to push through it. That's what we have to understand. You have to push through it. You have to push through that learning curve. You have to push through that frustration period. And especially for a guy. Okay, I've let myself get so out of shape. I go back to the weight room. I go back to the fitness center. Sometimes I want to go there during an hour where there's no guys working out at all, because I'm so weak that Or I can't make it through a workout. If you can't make it through a workout, you're going to get weak really fast. And people's going to be able to notice. Then I start getting embarrassed myself a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's that frustration phase. It's like you're doing all this work. It's hard. You're putting in a time. And things aren't coming fast enough. That's what Neville Goddard means, where there's an incubation, there's an incubation period. There's an incubation period of everything that you want. Okay? Our job is just to state what we want, have that intention, go into our imagination and enjoy that moment, enjoy having it. Once you can see it in your imagination, the truth is abundance is inside you. Once you see it in your imagination, it's yours. It's yours in that instant. Then when you get up and you live in the end, you wake up in your 3D world, you enjoy that moment. You walk around like you're already a millionaire. You walk around, you're already living your dream house. You're in that state, okay? And once you're in that state for a while, once you get better and better and better with it, once you get in 100% congruent with it, and you're calm, you're relaxed, your mind's relaxed, your mind just naturally goes into it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to think about it no more. That is when it comes to you, my friends. Okay, when you're just 100% congruent with it. And try a little test. Start being aware, when I'm going to wrap this up here, start being aware of little manifesting things that work for you. Like lots of times we can manifest little things, little silly things that we don't want. Nothing negative, but if I focus on a cup of coffee, then if I totally forget about it because I don't care and I'm totally calm, it totally leaves my mind. Next thing I know, maybe someone's handing you a cup of coffee, or maybe you're somewhere and they said, hey, do you like a cup of coffee? You just manifested a cup of coffee, something silly. Maybe you manifest a penny. Maybe you manifested Neville Goddard's ladder technique. Okay. Last night I had something silly happen to me. Maybe about a month ago, I was just thinking about one of my friends, but I used to work in the entertainment industry. Haven't seen him for a long time. And I wasn't purposely searching him, but I was just kind of focused on him for a couple days here and there. Then it totally left my mind. Totally forgot about it. Then last night I was like going through the movies and I see a movie he's in. That's how manifesting works. We don't need to spend days and days and days and days doing manifesting techniques. You just need to focus on it in your awareness. You need to focus on it for a couple days. After that, totally let it go. Totally forget about it. Get into a relaxed state where it's not coming to you no more, and it will come to you. Every time I've had anything I've manifested, even silly things or really important things I want, every time it's worked, one of the things I'm aware of, every time it's worked, it's always when I'm in a very relaxed state. I've totally let it go. I'm not thinking about it no more, and that's when it comes. Like anything I want, that's when it happens. That's the key. A lot of us, I did one video, I forget what it's called, I'm sorry, but sometimes I change the name of videos. It's a recent one. But I did one video on manifesting your 3D world, and about manifesting techniques, about doing Neville Goddard techniques, and what's happening is when we're doing these techniques way too long. Because when you do these techniques way too long, all it does is remind you that you don't have it. That's all it does. That's all it's doing to you. It's putting you in a state that you don't have. It's reminding you don't have. So you walk around your 3D world, you're dwelling in, you're living in the end, but you're doing it in reverse. You're living in the end, but you're living in the end that you don't have it. That's why I said, we should do these techniques maybe 2 or 3 days, totally let it go, forget about it, and it will come to you once you totally forget. But what we should do in your 3D world is what Neville Goddard said. In your 3D world, live in the end, dwell in the end. When he wanted to go to Barbados, Abdullah told Neville, when you're walking the streets in New York, walk the streets of New York like you're in Barbados, like you're walking the streets in Barbados. When you go to bed tonight in New York, when you lay in your bed like you're going to sleep in Barbados. You already have it. It's already done. That's where your confidence. Start paying attention to what's really helping me. Start paying attention to These little manifesting things that come to you. Like when you think about a friend and you think about it for a couple days, then you totally let it go. You totally forget about it. It's natural. You move on with something else. Then maybe a month later, you run into them. You're manifesting things all the time. You're manifesting things every day. Start being aware of those little things, that what you're manifesting. Start being aware of what you're doing. And you start gaining more confidence. You start getting more confident, like, dude, like when I focus on something for a couple days, I know 100% it's going to come to me. I don't know when, I don't know how it's going to happen, because those are not my concerns. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. It's going to come to me. That's your confidence. That's when you do these little techniques, that's the confidence it should be giving you, my friends. That's why, even with myself in my life, that's why I'm getting more and more confident with manifesting. So I always manifest these little silly things. Then finally I came to the conclusion that, like, dude, if I can do these little silly things, I can manifest something bigger. And I start being aware of my thoughts. I start being aware of how it happened. What did I do in my routine? What did I do to make this come true? And it was always when I totally let it go and forgot about it. But other than that, my friends, it's been about 16 minutes. I just want to share this on Sunday. And have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed Sunday. And I will see you in the next video.